Hello, Al 6D Diesel. So this video, we are Mercedes screen panel repairing, or rot repairing, replacing. It's a very common rot spot for LTs and Sprinter range. You'll sort of find this nasty pickled rusty mess below your windscreen. And then what normally happens is the rust gets behind the screen, you get a cold frosty day, and all of a sudden you end up with a massive great crack up from one corner or the middle or wherever. The rust is bad enough on your screen. If worse comes to worse, you end up with it rotting up the top as well. You've got to watch for that because they go real pickly along this edge. This one wasn't too bad, but basically this is the finished article. So this video is slightly arse about face. This is now done, but you get to see how we did it and how we pulled it apart and basically where you have to drill and where you have to put it. I will just pop, there's another one of these over there that's just come in, needs the same treatment. So I'll show you what a really crappy screen panel looks like, and then you can watch us do this and see what they look like by the time we've done. This is a 2002, this is 904, this medium wheelbase high top. You can see it's got a bit gooey in there, and then there's no lip left. Lip's gone. I won't leave on it too much because make a horrible mess. It's rotten in around here. They're very common for going along this edge here. You get water caught in this groove. A couple of windscreen changes and a overzealous windscreen man ripping all your paint off if he's cut it out, and then basically the things rot off. So what you've got to do, best out point, you get rid of the bonnet. So 2 bolts there, 2 bolts the other side, and then you've just got to pop this little spring arrangement off on the end here. So this little slide sideways clip, just pull it off. You'll need 2 of you. You can do it by resting it on your head, but it's much easier with 2 of you. Whip the windscreen wiper spindles off. That's a 13mm bolt. Let's see if we can get those breaking me. 13mm bolt behind these, just pop them up. Pull the little pipes. Remember to save these little black plastic pop-ins, because they're almost impossible to get out from the outside. So when you've cut your screen panel off, don't go cutting through those, because you can pull the pipes off the back of them, and then once the screen panel's cut out, pair of pliers, pop them out and you can fit them into your new one. I always undo these spindles, these big wiper spindles, and just for pure ease, if you drop this and this, that holds the wiper mechanism in, he'll slide backwards, and we always drop these big air boxes out just to give us that bit of extra room so we can get rid of the wiper spindles. So for the air boxes, this centre section pops out, as you'll know, for changing your cabin filter. There's some 10mm bolts up, one 10mm bolt up in there, one hidden up in here. You've got, I don't know whether you can see it, you've got a couple down on the bottom down in here, bolting it on, and you just chase around it, and then there's another one up in there, and this thing basically will sort of drop forwards. There's no need to take it out completely. You bring it forwards enough, and then once that big nut and that big nut, when these bolts are out, you just lean the wiper motor back into the bulkhead out of the way. You will have to, you're gonna need to cut a windscreen out. Now the one to remember, I'll use this one for reference, is basically these windscreen trims have to be removed, which involves basically, it's dead simple. You pull this door rubber trim off, just lever him back, get the top, tease a bit, they'll both pop out, and then a bit of a El Cheapo eBay windscreen cutter kit. You can hack your screen out. Now most of the time screens are knackered and it's just easy enough to have a good one, a new one fitted. You can see the trims are out here, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Little latch at the bottom, and then they've got a couple of these push tangs to hold them on. So cut your screen out. Once you're there, then basically you're into replacing this panel. Now I'll cut out here, and then basically we're going to do a bit of time travel. So this is the done one that we're doing, but you'll see how we did it. We're off. Right, it's morning. Mercedes 905, 904, 905. Screen panel changing. Standard rust spot. As you can see, we cut the windscreen out earlier. Say hello, Dom. Dom's on the job today, say hello. So basically down here, genuine new Mercedes screen panel, and obviously a nudgered windscreen which was cracked anyway. So we are in the processes of basically drilling all the spot welds out. As you can see, this section sits over the top of the original panel which we're replacing, so these all have to be drilled out and freed off. There's a little tag down in the bottom here on the window the windscreen, you've got the lower vent panel drain that needs to come off, and then basically a selection here. Normally you'd have to drill a load off across the top, but as you can see, you don't really have to worry about that at current because there is no top of this panel left. To get in there sensibly, what we do is just quickly drop this spare box down, and then that allows you to undo the windscreen spindles and the motor holder, move it back out your way, obviously bonnet off, and take the bonnet hinges out of the way. I'll put this on some time lapse and you can watch Tom drill spot welds. You'll like that. So, final preparations are screen panel. So we've quickly popped a few bits of the dash out. Haven't taken it out completely. You could take it out completely, but it's better just to lever it up. So as he's plastiche and reasonably flexible, you can undo the front screws, take the top off, and just gently heave him up out of the way. Which is a much better job. And then there's a sound deadening mat here that you can gently tease out from underneath here, and you can get in. Get rid of all this loose manky nastiness in here, and then what we will do is spot weld this back on here. You'll see us do it in a bit properly, and then we can seal this up so we don't end up with this problem again, and then this truck will be back being solid as a rock. So good old 413, we are screen panel fitted, corners trimmed in nicely and done, all up in here, obviously spot welded all the way across the top on the original factory. Spot welded all the way along the bottom again, all these sections here back in. So last bit of the old screen panel, we have painted it all, it's all in as it should be. See the truck's had the roof blown in, massive great roof bar thing they wanted fitted, and a brand new screen in. But basically, I'm well chuffed with that. I think you'd struggle to know basically whether we'd actually been there or not, which is the entire idea of this. Let me just close the said bonnet. There you go, brand new screen panel. It's a 413 Merc. It's exactly the same setup for the old Volkswagens and any of the other Mercedes, from an early TM1 all the way through to like a last of an i05. We never had to fit one yet in a 906. It's been like windscreen day here today. We've had 3 windscreens fitted, a load of other stuff done, and then the world's most annoying ABS fault was finally sorted on that thing. Anyway, I shall leave this video here.